In today's episode, we're going to be diving deep into a topic that's very close to our hearts and our whiskers. And that topic is, why are people racist towards black cats?
Why is it close to our hearts, Elbi?
Oh, yes. Because I don't know if you guys know this, but we have a black cat living in our house. Kind of one of our closest friends, one of our best allies, one of our just family, really. You know how you get chosen family as a queer person? That includes cats, especially black ones. And actually, more people need to chosen family of black cats, and that's due to racism. And let's explore that. Why do we hate black cats? Why do we hate them? And yes, it is racism. Let's just learn a little bit about that, though.
It is racism.
Haven't you ever noticed that they don't have that towards black dogs?
I've never looked into that. I'm not a dog person.
Because the black dog is the pit bull. Dolly.
Hey, YouTube.
I'm Crunchy.
And I'm Munchie.
And we're about to check our DMs. Let's check them. So to jump into this topic, we both did a little research, and we're just going to jump into my research first, because my research is more of sort of like an intro studies to the racism of black cats, and I think yours is a little more detailed.
I don't know if it's...
Frankly, we don't know what each other's research is, so let's just find out together. Happy Halloween. I'm going to be honest, I just kind of put 2 highlight reels of videos when I looked on YouTube of like, why do people hate black cats? And these are the most interesting facts that I could find.
All the way back in ancient Egypt, cats of all colors were actually quite well respected. Cats were so loved that killing them could mean a death penalty. As time passed, their special status wouldn't last. When Christianity spread through Europe, old religious symbols like Roman gods and Egyptian cats came to be seen as bad omens.
What? Yeah. So off the rip, they're like, it has to do with Christianity seeing them as, because of them being religious.
Like paganism.
Yes. And being like, that's bad and we're taking over.
Wow. Well, I as a child was very interested in cats. And so I did do a lot of, childhood library research into Egyptian cats and why,
I did not know that, actually.
Well, I mean, it was just they have books about ancient Egypt and
I'm
books
sure
about
do.
cats. And I would read them, and I didn't learn much beyond what they said, which is in ancient Egypt, cats were revered and seen as they were very respected. They were included in all of the government, all religious ceremonies, and they were seen as God-like themselves, and as a cat loving child, I really liked that as well. And I read in a book that they used the word Mao to describe cats in a respectful or to give honor or something. It was a term describing cats being, I don't know, special. And so that's why my childhood cat got the nickname Linksy Mao, which my dad called him up until his passing in 2020.
Because the Egyptians said that?
Yes. And as a child, I said that.
They invented meow?
No, Mao.
Was it supposed to be what they say? Or
I think so.
Well, that is what they say.
They say Mao.
Mao is closer to what they actually sound like saying than meow.
Mao.
They do say meow.
So instead of Lynx, as a child, I called my cat Linksy Mao. And that was something that my dad just held on to.
That's so beautiful.
Anyway, it is unsurprising but interesting that the spread of Christianity, which did destroy so much of variance in culture and obviously was a major engine in colonialism across the world, it's not surprising that that also had an impact on the status of cats in the world.
Pope threw some serious shade at black cats, declaring them the devil on earth in cat form.
What?
Eager, ill-informed Christians took the Pope's words and literally ran with them. They started rounding up cats all across Europe and burning them alive.
No.
Yeah.
Led to almost complete extinction of cats in some parts of Europe at the time.
Extinction to cats.
Common breeds that can have black cats include the Persian, Maine Coon, Sphynx,
cute.
British Shorthair,
So
and
cute.
Scottish Fold.
Which one's the cutest?
Yeah, I
the
just
Maine
put that
Coon,
up.
of course.
Which one's that? Is that one?
Yes, the fluffy one.
That one looks scary.
Which one do you think's the cutest?
That one.
Oh, that one's the
Munchie.
That's not Munchie.
Which one is?
None of them are Munchie.
Is Munchie a mutt?
Well, that's a word.
Slur?
Yes.
Okay, biracial?
No, Munchie's a American short hair cat.
None of these are munchies?
None of them
How
are
come
Munchies.
they? Okay, but this one looks like a different animal. Right? It kind of looks like 2019 cats.
Yeah.
I just thought it would be fun to show the ones that they show are black
Yeah.
and vote.
No,
which one's
Munchie is an
cutest.
American short hair cat.
Who told you that?
Well, first of all, I just told you that I did a lot of library research as a child,
What?
including a book that my sister checked out every week that showed all of the breeds of cats in the world.
I guess I thought that the vet said he was.
I don't think so.
Okay,
I don't
maybe I
know why
made
it said
that
that
up.
on the paper.
Okay, I thought that they asked you what his type was, and you were like, he's black, and then they put down.
Well, but if you see that cat that looks more like the cat I cat sit has a flat face. Munchie doesn't have a
I
flat
know
face.
Benji doesn't have that face. Please. That's my son. Anyways, yes, I just thought it would be fun to be like, who's the cutest? And you think the lynx he is.
Yes.
Biased. All right, next.
The black color results from a high concentration of melanin,
Oh,
the pigment responsible
like
for giving color
people.
to the skin and fur of animals. The richest
said
cat in
that.
history.
Oh, wait. Yes,
said just like me.
I did say, wow, just like me for real. And I didn't know that. And it makes sense why they're racist towards them. They literally have more melanin. Case closed, I mean. Do I
Yeah.
need to say more? It's just clearly what is the foundational of Western civilization is melanin is the devil. And we need to, that is lesser than an evil and bad and something to be destroyed, dominated, who knows?
Well, and didn't the Pope literally say black cats are the incarnation of the devil?
Yeah.
I mean, and you are rightly saying that, you know, Western civilization, which is very much, you know, dominated by Christianity, and Christianity is a core tenet of colonialization. That whole like set of ideals is like, wait, I'm losing my train of thought. I was like trying to connect the Pope calling the cats the devil to like what you said.
Well, if we want to go back to that moment, I do think there's something funny for me to say about that.
Okay.
Which, just listen to this cut up version I did.
Pope threw some serious shade at black cats.
I just think it's funny. Pope threw some serious shade at black cats. Like, I kind of think it's funny that it's like, threw some serious shade. You know what I mean?
Right. Like they actually almost got extinct. So that's not really shade.
But
That's
also,
actually starting to round up and kill them all.
well, and also, Pope threw some serious shade at black cats. I think it's a funny sentence when we're talking about how the black cats have melanin. And what is throwing shade? Where does that slang come from? Where does that come from? And why is this white person narrating this saying it?
Ooh.
I just thought that was really funny
Ooh.
to say, Pope threw some serious shade against black cats. And they ended up killing almost all of them.
No, it very much seems like an unconscious connection between like AVE and black cats that this narrator like brought into their narration. And it's very telling that that connection is connected to the story of black cats being rounded up and killed. And of course, like, this video is not telling the like parallel history of like human racism because it's about cats, but absolutely we can like make those connections ourselves.
I just noticed this when I was putting it together, how silly it was to say that they're throwing shade. I was like, oh, and did a black cat teach you that?
Oh my God.
And this is why we need to extend our solidarity. Let me just move on to the next part. Because, all right, I just feel like I have to say, this was all sort of like Black Cat History 101 of how are they being discriminated against. We learned it's through Christianity, through Western civilization, through colonization, which, unfortunately, that's probably the answer for most things in society.
Yeah.
But this last part of my little video is a story I thought was so silly. And I just was like, wow, I have to include this. So let's just jump into it.
The richest cat in history was black.
The richest cat?
This cat was named Blackie, and he became the world's wealthiest feline after his owner, a British millionaire, left him an inheritance of $12 million.
Excuse me? A British millionaire left his black cat he named Blackie. I mean, frankly, I didn't know if I should be censoring that through the rest of the video.
Yeah.
I was like, what? Let's go on.
And this is in 1988.
Exactly.
Just to be clear.
This is 1988. This isn't the 1800s or whatever. Because I literally Googled Blackie, and it said from the 1800s, a black person or something. But I'm like, this was a white millionaire. I didn't Google him, but come on. United Kingdom millionaire. And he had a black cat named Blackie. That's really... Is that not tying two and two together of why they're discriminated against?
Well, yes, of course.
They're like, oh, my little Negro cat. Anyways, we stand in solidarity and support. Let's go.
This cat was named Blackie, and he became the world's wealthiest feline after his owner, a British millionaire, left him an inheritance of $12,500,000.
That's it?
This happened in
Like, that's
1988
actually not that
when
much.
Blackie inherited this fortune as part of his owner's will. Although Blackie received this fortune,
That's like
part
a
of the money was
munchie.
directed to animal protection charities, ensuring that other cats could benefit as well. Blackie not only went down in history
Jesus.
as the richest cat in the world, but also as one of the most generous, as his legacy helped improve the lives of many other animals.
Well, you know what? Join our Patreon so we can make our cats the richest in the world. How about that?
And we don't name
Let's disrupt
them.
this legacy.
I mean, and we don't name them Blackie.
Slurs.
That gagged me. They're like, this British millionaire's black cat, Blackie.
Ooh.
And I just couldn't help but to be like, this is why people are like, black cats are evil. And obviously, okay, there's only with the 101 sort of story of it. There was a part I did take out, which was because I feel like Halloween, we all know about this a lot of like, they're associated with witches. The Salem witch trials, witches could turn to black cats. And it's like, yeah, I feel like we're kind of more familiar with that part. So I just was like, I don't think we need the cartoon animation where they're throwing shade at black cats, talking about that. But that was my collection of what I learned when I was trying to figure out and dive deep into the topic of why are we so racist towards black cats? And I learned that it's racism from Christianity, from colonization. Next.
Well, I have some records that back up all the things that you're saying. And I went about my research a little bit differently. I happened to be on the California Archive of Newspapers. And I decided that that would be maybe an interesting way to look up some of the history of how people talked about black cats. So this is obviously a limited archival dive because it's limited to California only, but I certainly found some things that link up to what you're saying in the 1800s and the 1900s.
We love those hundreds, don't we?
We don't.
I mean, I guess it's true. I wouldn't want to be living during that time like Taylor Swift was.
Oh, God. Don't say her name.
Oh, sorry. But
They'll
she
come
said,
after you.
she said without the racism towards black cats. She said she wanted to live in that time without the racism towards black cats.
Right, karma is a cat in your lap or whatever.
Yeah, and that cat better fucking be black, bitch.
Okay.
But no, she said without the racism.
I know, I said don't say her name so that they don't come after you.
Oh.
I'd like to share with you some clips from old newspapers. The California Digital Newspaper Collection has newspapers as far back as 1846, and the earliest one that I found clips from is 1855. But like, just to be clear, I know my way around an online archive and a physical archive, but I know nothing about like newspapers around this time period. There were a lot of things about the newspapers themselves that I found strange and confusing, and I cannot tell you why they are that way. But I did think that they were telling in the content, and I wanted to share some stories with you.
I'm ready.
All right, so like I said, the first kind of instance of black cats being a newspaper line item in California that I saw on this particular archive was in 1855. And I found this same exact line item in a bunch of newspapers in 1855. Not all on the same date exactly, but worded nearly the same across a number of California newspapers. I like literally don't know why. Like the way that these newspapers are written are like confusing. And so I am sharing with you a clip from the Nevada Journal, published on April 6th, 1855. This is volume 4, number 49. And maybe you can take a look and spot the racist line item about black cats.
Okay, I'm reading it. Okay, I see a Negro on a dark night.
Read the headline part.
Where's the headline? Dark Deeds?
Yeah, it says Dark Deeds.
A Negro on a dark night in a dark alley looking down a dark hole after a black cat. Is that it?
Yeah, that's the news.
That's the news?
That's the news. That's the news that was newsed in a bunch of newspapers in 1855.
That was news?
That is news.
Someone staring menacingly. A Negro.
At a black cat. Now, I cannot tell you what this section of a newspaper is. It really feels like a random collection of people standing about.
This is very much like early social media.
Oh my God, these are like tweets.
Or just like posts on Facebook or something. Like, I saw someone standing there.
You've literally seen that post, is the thing.
Haven't we all? If you are on that. Anyways, not everyone is.
No, it is literally like, I saw my neighbor looking at a cat.
I saw a Negro staring at a cat and it was black and it scared me and it was dark.
Yeah, the number of times that sentence says dark is like...
And that's why I go back to like the Christianity of like darkness and blackness and the devil. And I'm like, when I Googled, I tried to do a quick Google of like, why does Christianity think darkness and black or like darkness is like evil? And all of that was coming up in the AI overview.
Oh God,
It was just
not the AI overview.
It was just saying like darkness is symbolism and lightness and dark and light. And I'm like, but it's not a symbol when you're talking about like people and objects and things. Like, it's not a symbol of like lack of light if you're pointing at melanin.
So that's the first thing I found in the archives that's like very explicitly racist. And it, tracks, obviously. And it also very much fits in line with what you found in your YouTube research.
It's racism.
It is. And then the next thing I found is from 1908. And so this is a little article that again was published like all over California. And this particular version that I'm showing you all is from the Newcastle News on Wednesday, September 2nd, 1908. And the headline says, "Superstitions about cats." So this is like a kind of a wild list. And some of these are superstitions that like showed up in your research, and some of them are quite bizarre and quite new. But I thought that we could read them because they are interesting.
Okay, should I read it? Or?
Yeah, we can also like go back and forth if
Intertwine,
you'd
okay.
like. Yeah.
Okay. The blood of a black cat will cure. I don't know what that says. Spive and horse.
Some kind of injured horse. I don't know. Apply the freshly removed skin of a cat as a remedy for shingles.
I think the vaccine will work, which they're saying helps with cancer. Anyways, the skin of a black cat worn in one's clothing will cure rheumatism.
The black cat also makes, quote, good medicine. Here are some specimen of cat cure lore.
I don't. Anyways,
It's creepy.
but does it not feel
Yes.
the racism of it and like the. Anyways,
It does definitely feel in line with the history of like medical experimentation and torture on black humans.
and we won't even say it. I'm going to say it. The black body.
Yes.
Anyways, okay, where's the next one? You said which
Cat
one?
cure lore.
Okay, yes. Blood from the tip of the tail. Is that what it says?
Yes.
Blood from the tip of the tail of a black cat without a single white hair will cure a sty. What? Blood of the tip of the tail? How are you going to put that in your eye? Right?
Yeah.
Isn't that what a sty
That
is?
is what a sty is.
Without a single white hair. That sounds like an infection.
The heart of a black cat applied as soon as killed will stop bleeding from a wound.
Oh my god. This is
Yeah.
giving magical Negro of cat.
Yes.
In Massachusetts, it, quote, brings good luck, end quote, to throw a dead black cat over the left shoulder and turn twice. Witch trials.
Right. And again, this is published in the early 1900s, which is actually far after the
The
video
witch-
that you're
oh.
talking about, which is like the, advent of the spread of Christianity and like, Europeans
Well-
beginning to like be able to read the Bible and like hear about the Bible and like that kind of like early crackdown against like paganism. And like this is like quite obviously like superstition that is like tied up in Christianity and also like witchcraft.
Well, I said earlier, I cut out the part that talked about the Salem witch trials.
Right. I actually have some witch stories in a second.
Because I was like, I just kind of figured that was like known, but like they had it didn't really say anything interesting. It was just like the Salem witch trials. It was just like duh. It didn't say an interesting part about it, so I just cut that part out.
But these like superstitions are worded in my like reading. These are worded not as superstitions for which one should be persecuted for, but like perfectly reasonable superstitions. And so it is interesting that like there are ways that like fear of blackness become acceptable within white supremacy, even if they are like applied as like magic or witchcraft.
To me, I'm gathering it feels like anti-blackness is a mind virus and it can expand beyond humanity.
Absolutely. And again, remember in 1855, all of these stories spread across the newspapers of just like a black guy seeing a cat. Like,
I know.
that's
I mean,
the news,
the fact
folks.
the fact that this is carried on through hundreds of years,
Yeah.
to this day, that people are still like, black cat, they still have low adoption rates. They still are like, scary.
I'm Munchie's third owner.
It's a mind virus, and the reason I say that is because that's what they like, the woke mind virus to this
Oh my
virus.
God.
I'm just saying, like, they have the anti-blackness virus that is spreading to animals, and it has spread to black cats. It has spread to pit bulls. And if you just subscribe and follow the series, we're going to talk more about where it has spread in the animal kingdom.
We'll find more animals that have been
I have found
impacted
them.
by
I
anti-blackness.
have found them. I'm just waiting to tell this tale.
Oh, okay. And you'll tell me the tale too.
Yes. But anywho, so shall we carry on?
Yes. All right. The belief that it is bad luck to kill a cat is general. And in Pennsylvania and Iowa is found the superstition that if a farmer kill a cat, some of his stock will die. So some pro-cat propaganda there.
In ancient Egypt, the cat was sacred to the goddess Isis and was held in the highest reverence. Temples were erected in its honor, and sacrifices and devotions offered up to it.
See, there's always got to be a mention of the ancient Egyptian cats in any conversation about cats. It's because they all were kids reading the book at the library.
Somehow didn't make it into the 2019 film Cats, so.
Oh my God. That's because T.S. Eliot, who famously is the author of the book that became the 2019 movie Cats, must have hated Egypt.
Because he was
Spread that
anti-black.
around. Exactly.
He was trying to pretend that cats came from Europe, and they're all like, what? Played by Taylor Swift and James Corden?
Yeah, and he's American. He just liked Europe that much.
And can we ask why the sexual predator cat was by Jason Derulo, a black man?
That's a really good question.
Is that the only black person in? Oh no, the other bad guy is by a black person.
Oh my God! And is the castaway cat not also black?
Who's the castaway?
The girl cat.
Oh yes. That sings the song.
Yes.
Oh,
Cats in 2019 racist.
that's not the only reason why that film was bad.
Also, anytime you say or anyone says Jason Derulo's name, I just hear like Jason Derulo, you know?
And that's marketing, mama.
Yeah, it's true. And
Yeah, no, I think we're uncovering real shit though. Like,
Yeah.
why are all the villains? You know how in Disney they make the villains gay? Well, in Cats they make them black, and there's a history to that.
Mhm.
It just Elba, and then we already said
Which cat was it? Just Alva.
it.
Oh, the bad
Evil
cat.
one,
The bad cat.
Mr.
Yeah, you're right.
Bad guy. I don't know his name.
McCarty or whatever. McCaverty, the cat.
McCavity.
McCaverty.
Who was like, who's gonna be disappearing tonight? And then all the white cats were like, I want to be
And
the
then
bull.
Rebel Wilson said with her mice.
Yeah. Yeah. Interesting, the layers to this story. Now let's go in.
All right. In Alabama, the spirit of an old maid after death takes possession of some black cat. In the same state, to cut off the end of a black cat's tail and bury it under the doorstep is to keep sickness out of the family.
Weird.
Very weird.
When the family cat of an Egyptian family died, the members of the household were required to shave off their eyebrows, going non-binary with it. And
Okay, sock.
And in the city of Cairo, there was, within very recent years, an institution for the care of destitute cats. What does that even mean?
Like poor cats, like sad cats. I mean, that's
What does
like
that
pretty
mean?
normal. I think there's like
What's a sad cat?
institutions for like stray cats, like a lot of places.
Okay.
Like, what's the SPCA, you know? Like,
I don't know.
an institute for destitute cats.
All right. Yeah.
What's the trailer in the marsh that Crunchy came out of?
A very safe space that we love. Thank you.
Yeah, that's what this is referring to.
Okay.
Like a like positive like organization taking care of cats that don't have a home.
Oh, so it's just a positive thing.
This is positive. They're like, Egyptians love cats.
I know they mentioned Egyptians several times throughout this.
Yeah, that's what they always say.
Damn. Do you think that cats can talk to each other and they say, like, remember the golden era when we were the Egyptians?
Yeah, that's like the story they're told.
Aww.
Yeah. Well, so now that we've uncovered some like real shit, there are some just like really crazy witch stories I wanted to show you. I don't even know what to say about it, but it's from a section called Good Night Stories by Blanche Silver. And this one comes from San Francisco, where we live. The San Francisco Call, Volume 125, Number 91, April 19th, 1919.
Damn. Was it gay here yet?
Yeah, actually.
Damn. White people must have been so happy.
Probably.
Damn. Good for the white gay guys, huh?
Yeah.
They got to do that so early. Good for them, right? Good night, Stanley. Sorry. Mr. Black Cat, and good luck. One morning, as Bobby was on his way to school, a great big black cat darted from the bushes on one side of the road and ran across to the other side right in front of Bobby. "Oh dear!" he exclaimed crossly. "Black cat!" Oh, sorry. What does it say? Black cat?
Black cat.
It says cat?
Yeah.
Oh.
I think.
Oh, okay. Black cat. Bad luck. I suppose I'll get bad marks in my test today. Just because a black cat crossed your path? Laughed a squeaky voice, and Bobby's little elfin friend, Squeedy, hopped up beside him. You don't mean it. Certainly, replied Bobby, crossly. When a black cat runs across your path, it always means that bad luck will follow you. If I had a bad... Wait, had? Had? Does that say had?
Had him?
If I had him, I'd sure give him a good beating with his stick. That's easy, laughed Squeedy with a merry twinkle in his eyes. Come here, Mr. Black Cat, and speak up for yourself. Mr. Black Cat came back and perched himself on a log near Bobby and began washing his face with his paws. What's that I heard you say about me bringing you bad luck? He asked. Why, all folks say the... Does it say same?
Yeah.
Why, all folks say the same thing, exclaimed Bobby meekly. So I just supposed it was to let you... Oh, wait. Just supposed it was to let me know my marks would be poor in my test today. Queer. What funny notions folks have about us four-legged creatures, laughed Mr. Black Cat. The only bad luck I can see in crossing anyone's path is the bad luck of having a stone hurled at me, especially should the stone hit me. At this both? What does it say?
At this both Bobby.
At this both Bobby and Squeedy, laughed heartily. It may sound funny to you, said Mr. Black Cat, switching his long black tail, but there's nothing funny about it to me. Sometimes they chase me, and I have to run a long way before I can find a place to hide. And the joke of the whole thing, laughed Squeedy, black cats are generally given magic power by the witch of Fairyland. Oh dear, laughed Bobby. If the boys knew that they'd never... Was it class? Chase. If the boys knew that they'd never chase them, the way they do, at least I wouldn't.
If the boys knew they'd never chase them.
The way they do?
Yeah, the way they do. Like they chase the cat.
Chasers, huh? Black
Chasers.
Black Cat licked his paw and rubbed it over his face. Well, let me tell you one thing, he growled. Well, when they chase me, they chase away good luck. For I have been given the power to grant wishes by the old witch. Black Cat, bad luck indeed. And if I promise not to hit or throw stones at any more of your friends, you'll give me my wish, exclaimed Bobby. Sorry, let me read Bobby again. And if I promise... I'm Bobby. And if I promise not to hit or throw stones at any more of your friends, you'll give me a wish, exclaimed Bobby. I certainly will, exclaimed Mr. Black Cat. All right, I promise, laughed Bobby. I wish I may get good markings in my test today. You certainly shall, replied Black Cat. And Bobby, hearing the school bell, bade his friends goodbye and ran on to school. Sure enough, Bobby got, quote, excellent on his test that day. Why do you really suppose... Oh, that seems like the end.
Yes, that is the end. It says, why do you really suppose that was?
He really learned about how he was discriminating against black cats, and they really is something about the one-on-one conversation woke in his mind a little. And he said, well, maybe... Oh, and let's be clear, it sounds like it's a little bit of a transactional relationship there, where it's like, if I don't hit you, you won't hit me.
Wait, but can we talk about Squeedy?
Oh, yeah.
When Squeedy showed up and I was reading this, I was like, wait, what?
That's easy, laugh, Squeedy.
He has like a little imp friend? Like, what?
As someone who has written a story before, it's easy to write a sidekick character for comic relief. We say there's a straight man and a man. Squeedy was the No.
You're gonna have to censor that.
But that's just...
Uncensored version for Patreon.
That's just the story, no? Squeedy's that. And the Bobby's the straight man.
Yeah.
Squeedy's...
Well, speaking of straight, I do have like one last part of Black Cat history for you.
Month.
And it stays in San Francisco. I decided to take a turn because as I was looking up this, these old newspaper archives, I discovered that there's actually a really important historical gay bar in San Francisco called the Black Cat Cafe, and I wanted to tell you a little bit about it. So I found a really funny little menu, first of all. So this is the menu from the Black Cat Cafe, home of the cat burger.
Ew.
I really don't know what that was, but it was 30 cents. And that little cat is pretty funny to me.
Damn, that must have been before fucking tech came into San Francisco.
Yeah. So it was actually open from 1906 to 1921 and then 1933 to 1964. And it was a gay bar, like in the second era that it was open after Prohibition. Officially by 1951, it was like a gay bar in that like straight people did not go to the bar.
I would hope so.
Well, prior to that, it was more mixed. And it was also the home of Jose Saria's drag review.
Okay.
So Jose Saria is actually the first openly gay candidate in the U.S. to run for public office. So you hear about Harvey Milk because he won, but Jose Saria did it first.
Well, we hear about Harvey Milk because he's a white.
Yeah, and Jose Saria was not.
That's just tea.
Yes. So he ran in 1961 for supervisor, and I read this like kind of crazy like story where he actually almost won by default. But then the city realized on the last day to file petitions that this gay Mexican guy was going to win. And so 34 candidates filed the last day, and he did lose. But he got like a pretty good number of votes. People were surprised.
It's giving Kansas Missouri Act all over again.
Describe.
Do you not know about the Kansas?
I'm like, how are you
Missouri?
connecting it?
I don't know if it actually connects.
Okay.
I'm just saying, like, how that worked was like they had voters come in to pick if it was for the South or for the Union, and at that time, people would all go into a state to mass the votes. There wasn't like as strict rules.
So you're talking about like rushing the vote?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
That's
I
what
see
I
that
meant.
connection. Yeah. It wasn't the voting that was rigged. It was the candidates.
Yeah. But I meant like last minute being like it's gerrymander.
Yeah, it is definitely. So the other story about the Black Cat Cafe that's like interesting is actually about the straight owner of the bar.
Must we hear more about straight history? We already heard Squeedy.
Sorry, I broke the levels. So as you know, like there is a long history of gay bars being places of harassment
Shout out.
by the cops.
Oh yeah. That's always been a thing.
You said shout out.
Well, I just thought you were just saying. But no, yeah, the cops historically are like, what's all this? Yeah.
Yeah.
And let's destroy it. I mean, I saw the documentary about, I wish I could say the name, but it was a documentary about black lesbian bar space in LA in the 90s.
Mm-hmm.
It was a good documentary. And how it ended was that the cops just were like, you have to stop doing, the cops destroyed it.
Yeah.
And that's a story in a lot of queer spaces in always.
So
The
this
cops
is a
are like,
similar
"Stop."
story, actually. So the story starts, though, with the straight owner. A lot of straight owners would take bribes from the police or would just be fine with the cops coming in and arresting patrons, basically. And this owner was not. He was not down with the harassment, even though he was hetero. He took California to the Supreme Court. He was like, I'm being harassed for having queers buy my cat burgers. And that's not okay with me. And he took California to the Supreme Court and won that he should not be harassed for, like, you know, having that clientele. But unfortunately, in response to that victory, in 1955, California like passed a new law. They passed an amendment creating like a special department called the California Department of Alcoholic Beverage Control, which is like the ABC. And they made a special law saying this department can shut down any resort for sexual perverts. and they used the law to shut down the bar. But that's the story of the Black Cat Cafe. And the story of Jose Soria, who I have a picture of, is also quite important to this city. Jose was a performer at the Black Cat Cafe. He did an opera, like a one woman opera. He started the Imperial Court in San Francisco, which was basically like an organization for gay people. And I actually found there's a documentary about his life, released in 2021, so pretty recent. It's called Nelly Queen, The Life and Times of Jose Soria, and it played at Outfest. He's like a important figure in San Francisco specific queer history in the like 40s to more recently. Many of the recorded like stories of his life that like I saw were specifically about like his encouragement to resist like the police that would come and arrest people like at the bar. And you know, like I heard this one story that really stuck with me, that like the cops would come and like round people up, and like they would sing like at the end of the night like loud enough for those like arrested people to hear. Like Jose Soria would like lead everyone in song, and I thought that was really beautiful. So that's the research I did about Black Cats. You know, we started on the origins, similar to yours, and then I just ended up in some gay history, as I do. But I you know, like you said, this topic is close to our hearts and our whiskers. We have our 11-year-old black cat at home. We have our own reasons to be annoyed with him. But it's not because he's a black cat.
It's not due to the melanin. It's not due to the Christianity telling us the darkness. It's not the Pope who's throwing shade. And it's certainly not about Screevy.
No, it's because when he wants something, he looks around with very pointed eyes to find
And
something to destroy.
As a close friend's partner said, why isn't he annoying? It's because he yells, and he yells constantly.
He does love to yell. We love you, Munchie. All right, thanks so much for watching. Meow. Meow.